Anyway, I'm Adom TV so brasso se big agenda ye de ebremo na ene ye ba bedin komo afa a retired Supreme Court Judge Justice William Atuguba na nsem bia odi atodwa se nsema hoduo bia ekoso men yatim adwumakuo no enhyeda entwa yie papa na kansem pa ye binya ntobase bia nsem na okai no na yahwe anye bia se de ni dibresitie ewo omen judicial system no in as much as say retire mpo no ka asem a wait I carry ene nsem odi atodwa no ana se no kore yenka yento se binti no also ka ne saa nsusu so bei na de waka no ewo judicial system no so ebinya to ase digest na yehwe adi nkomo de afa ho yefa na se ma DBS industry so madama dwede we ye de ebre wo usidan ne dru se ode nchensen bo so DBS wo adwuma pakodan won mo omen afana babie free tamale besi sunwane fata krade kumase enkran be bia wo hye bia ne tworo ne ntwa so bia no o from a obeje so no obeya adwuma no color link plus 20 warranty no bata ho no ekese bra dwene ntiase so frɛ 0240844444 ye frɛ me na say ampofo je ntwa homra na fe nkomo no ye mfa hyehyɛ so Yama kwa babie mafe ma yenko yensem a ene dapono so big agenda dwumadi so na Justice William Atuguba a retired Supreme Court Judge ena wode nsem bi atodwa afa judicial system no ho na yempese ye be chechira asem atoto ama na wa na governance forum bi ana ekoso nrada na papa no de sansem wi ekotodwa yenti openi nankasa na numu asem odi todwa na kakra na yenyina so emfani nkomo no.
The Attorney General, the President's principal legal advisor, and 4 nominees of the President serve on the Judicial Council. The President thus has ample opportunity to influence the nominations by the Judicial Council. Furthermore, because the constitutional provision requires Parliament's prior approval, Parliament has a veto power over the appointment of any Supreme Court justice. I'm pausing here a little. You want a judiciary to be free. Apart from the Attorney General, who is appointed as a political minister by the President has 4 other nominees on the Judicial Council to ensure what? Impartiality. The entertainment and determination of the James Jachi Kweson's case as Michael and Kwama Nyimfa versus James Jachi Kweson and 2 others, writ number J1-1122, 17th May 2023 by the Supreme Court, is quite unfortunate, though the court, in my humble view, was misled by the earlier decision of the Supreme Court in Sumaila Bill number 1 and Dramani and another 2011, 1 Supreme Court Ghana Law Report 132. Even there, the Biabel case was not, unlike the Jachi Kweson case, determined on its merits by the High Court and the Court of Appeal. However, the determinative consideration is that the Constitution has clearly assigned post-parliamentary election matters to the High Court under Article 99 and post-presidential election matters to the Supreme Court. These provisions are specific, while the provisions of Articles 2 and 130 are general.
And more importantly, the judiciary has the bounden duty to hold all other powers, entities, and agencies of state.
Enti Solidarity Governance Forum dwumadi ase na Justice William Atuguba retired judge of the Supreme Court what is wode ensemu etudwa a wo kire nyoma bi osusu se esisi chiachia ewo men yatemu dwumadi mu okan ya akoka yewura James Jachi Kweson na asem ko Supreme Court na enam so ma ebo asem no na yitu papa na de so na fe so kra no yesan ekokoto aba ho ni nyina o cheche na dwen edefa ho na ansa ne bekoye mpanimfo so no obebisa se anye bia no Yewra Justice William Atuguba at the time before so be retire no deputy chief justice no na bibia kama with your justice and judicial system no ana say na nye nemum afei na hoden naba so obeka. Secondly, na avenue bia ni ho a opani ni betimi dia ka asem no since public lecture say ye pani ye say be reform judicial system no dia e be so mo ntomago na hata bonten. Thirdly, is it not the case say asem no kure say dem panifo aka to no ye ka ye nto sebe nti gi so obie kuro nani ena ye bia kuro na me kuro na wu enu nti no obie so saa sebe wo se kire ka no kure no nko ade a utumi ye oho aduro eme bia koyie nti no pempen wo se ne pen or ye justified so ka ne se de waka ni sankomo ne behwe na nyina so na ye di ebisansem ne hwese benya ho anu yi a ye wo mpanimfo a ye no mo edi nkomo anwumre na ye kwa homa so Sevia kuje ye PRO ema Ghana Bar Association ase mefa se o makasa mafo Sevia anwumre ye mo adwomo akwa baba Adom TV so
Bajo mi jusu
mi gidi se wo ho ye
Bajo mi ho nyame adom
yeda otwedi ampo nyankopon ase why Sevia dia minim se bia anwumre wo na obe save the judicial system wo man mu dia ensem a Yewra Justice Atuguba aka ede afa judicial system no ho no baabi a wote askasama for Ghana Bar Association a beka se mudwumadi amudie nyina ne fapem ne judicial system no onisha comment ne say
me da say bacho to begin with meka say judiciary and not judges no obi abetimi criticize omo they are not above criticism
sure
especially if the criticism is constructive. Well, Justice Atuguba is a very respected and experienced retired Supreme Court justice. Ono ni Justice Sophia Ekufu, me say more about 23 or plus years on the bench at the Supreme Court alone. And so more experience pa. Now someone me person me bisan say and someone now the to just say politics ya abemono. Is it to say time now holding in 1995 up to the time or retiree, all these things were happening, or just after he had left that it started happening, or it was happening because he was part of the team, he couldn't talk about it. Oh, me, I bet you criticize it. There is nothing wrong with it, but to use words to say scandalous, no, I want a main problem war because. Be sure say anka onu kapta panel no na obi akoka say judgment no is scandalous me sure say ebia the ninje ho because now me dream say ebia obeka say okay if I were on the panel I would have decided it different because from what I've read no na dream say that in case no high court decided that anti and Nikwan says Supreme Court Besan could decide this case will be 20 Uncle Onwa. Near the Supreme Court, the say, I won't make sure and I won't directly say, I won't enforce high court judgment. You know, he could have said this in a very different way without using words like scandalous. All that may be problem. Or better to criticize it. Now, so in doing that, you know, I think that we should be exceptionally selective as to the kind of words that we use to do the criticism because on what NASA court for 20-something years. And the fact that he has left the system does not mean that just any word can be used to describe the judgment. He can disagree with them. And one thing I mean to say lawyer say no, me mean to mean catch another lawyer and not judge say oh you're wrong. All I can say is that I disagree with you.
Okay.
I can't say you are wrong. I mean to mean can say just as well you're right or not you're wrong.
Favor said you okay ne timing issue say time a woman on na na enum po de Ghana for beka se yemfa nto nchen na yenhwe issues na all raising no yemfa the tonnage and I say bia vocabulary no use ye no so nto nchen but issues na all raising no for say issues or say yeti ani ehwe abre the timing ne bia the tone of asem na okan ye no and vocabulary no say bia ho nhye da entie no issues always about judiciary no ofo say nyensem a wo say yeti ani hwe na se sanity a ye hwe na esesane o ma.
Okay, me to mark as a judiciary is a human institution. It's made up of human beings. anti problems or means there's a problem here. Now problem now is lack of confidence. We all know. And why is it happening? Because there is alleged corruption. I don't think it is sir. And your judges won't go. Judge into your bribe money. Many won a demand. Now I'm also because Bebre, my name say a friend say Anka Bebre live up to their personal values and principles. No, what is our bribe no ba? A just on fair police number 2. A chinano obi an yebium. Now so yamra or corruption one kasa my captain say no crowd or problem. And Mara say the giver of the bribe and the taker are equally guilty. A bad thing and san obi chubi. Because we mean command now opia all signed by uncle tia bribe. Now be kwa bontia ka say me kura mako tia bribe o me dia mawe enti mun continue na mun be chiminso. It won't happen. Enti me enemy din say looking at our special circumstances no going forward no. Let's look at have a second look at our laws on bribery and corruption. Men can say for example it is only the taker who is guilty and this is a public officer. Now me the say you an example envelope brewer who sure say obi na sumami ana emyanga say na dement unji ye no sam ye sure say we make a headway. All right, so corruption no there e wo ho enye judiciary nko e kromo hia nyina e wo ho. All right, na galamse sam koso Sebia yeah enim say galamse no we enim nipa na am those behind it, but nobody wants to say it because Daniels are dishonest, insincere and indisciplined people.
They say harsh words no start used to be no ehitiba. Na Sevia my share the issue of politicization of our judiciary. And also here one issue raising here. Mekan say a hard drink san say atemu adwumako na wo hosa na to de to aba mpokura na isusi awie mu hwa na ekokoka no. Meanwhile, ye wo obi to say a former president John Dramani Mahama waka sa asem no say enei MPP fo ahye de pake court no with omo no judges I was say NDC ba opekon obefa so obe balance say equation say whatever say they obe termine bia and na wo a retired experienced Supreme Court judge no so cancer politicization of ye judiciary no so ade a rare then ye be ye ade afa ho is it a case say enya no kre ana say eye saa ne tie ye wo say no so ye tie ne ye ka ho no kre nyina.
Oh, the difficulty is the appointment procedure and the criteria for appointment have not changed since 1992 because appointment is anchored on the strength of the Constitution. And this procedure no has not changed and the criteria haven't changed as well. Then I don't know what the difficulty is because as Azuba said, no, they are appointed in 1995. That was the first government under the first government under the 1992 Constitution.
The former President Rawlings and appointed no.
President Rawlings. Wow. And the president being so bad appointed via me who politicization and the me can say answer na president by appointment. It is on the recommendations and advice of the Judicial Council. Which
he has a problem with the composition of the Judicial Council. What you say? Composition of the Judicial Council no crown. Yes, I was president. The representatives Makuma nine was so. And no crown one the crown. President reps was our council no so. Ninja operating out.
Okay, mean council be true. If I'm right, the Judicial Council is made up of about 17 members. And this is a 4 classy government one now president appointed for. Are you telling me that 4 people can influence the rest 13? How possible is that?
I don't see a good question.
How possible is that?
Sevia, Mamena was say na every person you better answer Uncle Mowe so.
Okay, we that.
Sevia Kuje, Kasama former Ghana Bar Association out is expressing the views so retired justice William Atuguba Nensamo kind and na me wo a private legal practitioner time no edin komo se bi chi adwen omra ho a yewra John Agote e wa hama so Uncle John boko de
boko minia
me gidi se watie nkomo na ye di no kakra na wate nsem a justice retired William Atuguba so e di atodwa no ama for se de papa no ni weight ne gravitas e wo judicial system no mpo ene ya or retirement no o kan sem bi se ya etwe judicial ne mo nyamba fom egu ne ho fin
yo me da watiefo no wa afshefo nyina so ati in fact ye papa Atuguba we are retired Supreme Court judge okasa edu ekire okasa weight wom eno ntino ne kasa na nansan odi tu dwa no rem kakra enti ama yeni a your war field most of us have become a bit uneasy. We are my name that I quite say you feel okay in some way. We are feeling uneasy in some way.
I was saying gumo.
Because it is not mean a person that Justice Atuguba yenim no the nyoma waye wo Ghana mra ba custom ono also call lecture ba ko na call na call kan sem o kan de waye nyina enti yenim enti ono kasa edu akire modru enti nka yenim say ono no woye former retired judge no or advice the na se bibi to chima ono otiechire no ebe approach those in charge. Now what the advice back home in the but I've never heard him say anywhere that you were advising the young fire and they were making contribution will be I'm fine you maintain all cancer baby.
Say our reservations bimpo and I say emanasipo bi wo yen system ne ho a na kanye forum bi say and I say bedwam say na wo senkodi to ja right.
Of course, you were say you're the Judicial Council on enim. And you were near Moshe Ghana a lawyer for you were a kind of sample, any judging for so. And say a baby ho na say send you no man or the two John a binum emu drink nanka ye share kwan say sanyamano obefre omo work sa councils me we na say media Misha adewe atochima
Yerabote is not the case say Ghana ye mpe no kre ye pekataso mumuaso eno so nti ne yentimi nye ye ho aduro ema ye nyina na so no won ka no kokoam obe no na yatena so na yanka bia o kan ni say no people will set up ana.
No, what I'm saying, what we all have is the judiciary. Maybe I'm a kasa, my boss has some way so. They're gonna for your work, any the judiciary. Mikasa, Mama Mitchell Kaka.
Okay.
You were the three arms of government.
Yeah.
You're the legislature, and you're the executive, and you're the judiciary. Now, say a person to question or the legislature more, you're Johnny Bad judiciary. About to question executive major nearby judiciary. The legislature, any executive, any problem, any court judiciary. Empo the judiciary, any legislature, any problem, we still go back to the judiciary. Judiciary, any executive, any problem, we still go back to the judiciary. What it tells you is that judiciary need the any and the judiciary so no, and a lawyer for a year and cry Juma. Per se na meka judiciary the chief justice Supreme Court judges amubua ema prepare your and say the rule of law juma wa Ghana no omo na omo dan no nti so they are the final arbiter. Constitution is say the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of all matters, both criminal and civil, of all matters.
You have Justice William Atuguba who believe say that Judicial Council asema wo kan kra no aye politicized kakra because aban no appointees bi omu a ono no kra hu de enti e wo say aban appointees e ba so ne ho keka ho enti politicization no why no okokasa asemu ya kire no obi believe say system na nkasa no in a way aye corrupted no anya forum say ya na obeka.
Oh, there be over to me at the good class also. But we to the good class now they are common president and now the appointing body said, me say appointment here my away anyway hello.
Dear Justice Atuguba kan no nukure bia ni baabi a wo so man no ye ma ye ni ekọ ho ne ye ho aduro
no kra bebri or bebri mo wotie na no kra de all kan no nyene nyina na metumi aka say because you don't have the evidence the allegations na yeah
okay
but yeah into the ethics ni perception na Ghana for ewo na de betumi aka say no kra bi wo bi mo ya na titi bi pen ana ya ti hu baby bi mo pen wo baby
right.
You cannot say put your finger on it say we ya no kra I don't see na ancestor or the two bedroom at once.
All right. Mama na wase opani e wo bra bribia e be fro bia oje so na wodu nim de boaye wo dwumadie so yakopon Israel
on Israel so
opani John Agote a private legal practitioner na fe Xavier Kuje enso e kasama for Ghana Bar Association me so ye frem na na say ampofo je na say encommand production team ne DBS industry so madama e na di dwumadie bro wo chene be se hia ne mom kai say 26 December ye kwa Santema Mpon live concert kese pa ye de be ma bro nya wani age ti ye fa munsi ye be se hia bi